Hey, Dr. Steve Rosman. I'm coming to you from the Wyndham Grand in St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm here at a conference. I'm always trying to learn, grow, so that I can bring you better information, so I can serve you better and more knowledgeably. But I overheard someone the other night at a restaurant talking about something that I wanted to share with you. As soon as I heard it, I said, this is something I ought to pass along. So it was a woman, and she was talking about changes that she's made in her life, more exercise, more stress reduction, and she's made changes in diet as well. She's cut down on sugar, but then she was talking about a change about gluten, that she had cut gluten out of her diet and she felt that she was feeling better. This was her choice. But then she said something, and this is what I want to pass along to you. So she was talking about all that she had done and that she couldn't explain why she had gained 10 pounds in the last month, and that her doctor had told her that her blood sugar had actually gone up and that her cholesterol, triglycerides had risen a little bit, and she was finding it a little more difficult to get into certain clothes. And here's the problem. When some people take something out of their diet, what do they replace it with? Are they replacing it with something just as healthy? Are they being just as aware of what they're putting back in as what it is they're taking out, good as that may be? So let me pass this along. The average person consumes about 30 teaspoons of sugar a day and about 100 pounds of sugar a year. And most of that comes not just from sugar, most of it actually comes from high glycemic foods, foods that turn into sugar in the body, into glucose in the body very, very quickly. If a score of 100 is the score for a teaspoon of sugar or a piece of white bread, then anything that gets close to it, you can see turns into sugar or affects glucose, blood sugar in the body just as quickly. So breads, pastas, processed foods, cookies, cake, chips, pretzels, even if it seems gluten-free and healthy, other things that are not directly from nature, not a grain directly grown out of the ground, not something grown out in nature, but something processed, then you can be sure that what that is has a high glycemic index and turns very, very quickly into sugar. So if you're one of those people who've substituted gluten-free pretzels or chips or breads for those that used to contain gluten, or pastas, or anything else like that, one for one, you're actually ingesting just as much sugar, if not more, and doing it thinking that you're doing something good, so you may actually be even overeating it. By doing that, you are putting yourself in a position where diabetes becomes just as likely as anyone else. High cholesterol, high lipids becomes just as likely as anyone else. Cardiovascular disease just as likely as anyone else. The ups and downs of sugar instability affecting mood and behavior just as much as anyone else. So all of the negative effects of too much processed food and too much sugar in the diet can come about when we make healthy changes and we then become blinded or narrow visioned, instead of in those moments saying, okay, I've taken this out. Have I done anything to put the wrong things in place? We sometimes don't. And we're very proud of ourselves and should be for taking those foods out of our diet, whatever they may be. But I'm just passing this along, as I would have if I knew that woman in the restaurant. I would have gotten up and I would have said to her, please, you've got to think about it this way. This is the reason your triglycerides, cholesterol went up. This is the reason your blood sugar went up. This is the reason you put on weight. Because all of that processed food goes to sugar, which goes to fat. So, please do your best. Learn from these videos. Learn what to put in your diet. Learn what to take away. Learn what to put in your life. Learn what to take away. But when you are replacing what it is you're taking away, think for a moment, is this healthy? If it's healthy, go ahead and do it. If you need to call me, you know where I am. So this is Dr. Steve Rosman passing along this health tip to you. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, have a great day, have an optimized life, make the most out of it, be happy, my friends.